Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to all of you that are in the chat. And for those of you who might be watching this on replay, we are the Soul Sisters coming together with a spiritual view. And I am traveling today, and I am joined by the beautiful Jen and the amazing Dawn. And so we're going to be your host today. We might have someone else pop in here in a bit, but we are delighted that you have chosen to spend a little bit of time today. We got a lot to talk about. So I want to call out a big shout out to Ed for finishing the punchline of the joke that we've had going on. So it's in the chat, but we are very grateful that you've joined us. Just a couple of announcements this morning. We will be, or Dawn is going to be doing her new moon ritual this Thursday, the 27th of February at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so we will be posting a little bit more information about that later. But if you can mark your calendars for this Thursday for the new moon ritual, that would be awesome. So we're going to talk today about a number of things. It's a big week. So you had last week to rest and relax. The weekend was a pause, but here we go. And we're going to be talking about the new moon in Pisces at 9 degrees. We're going to talk about the Venus retrograde, and all planets are direct this week. So we have some amazing energy to talk about. So Dawn's going to lead us to that conversation. And then we're going to pull cards for the collective to talk about the message of what spiritual values are actually being revealed to us at this time. And then what Spirit's message for you in particular would be as we draw cards for individuals. So if you want a card pull, please put in the chat a heart. And if you want to put a number as well, of the dice, if we end up rolling dice. So that would be helpful to get us organized. So welcome everyone. And I would invite you to sit back because we're going to do a quick clearing. Always great to do on a Monday morning. And so would love everyone just to relax and close your eyes for a moment. And we're just going to get really grounded and centered today. It's Pisces season. And we're going to take a deep breath in. Exhale. Another deep breath in. And a big exhale. And we're going to imagine, because it's Pisces season, that we're around a body of water. You can make a choice of a lake, a lagoon, an ocean. But imagine yourself alone, sitting by this body of water. And you're just in this dreamy state of being. You're relaxed. Your body's relaxed. You have no care in the world. You're connecting with the energy of the water. You probably see a few mermaids, some dolphins, might be a whale. Whatever it means for you, just sit in this beautiful, amazing watery energy. Breathe it in. Exhale it out. And we're going to call on Archangel Raphael today. I'm feeling a strong connection because there's so much healing going on in relationships, in our hearts, old experiences that we're letting go of, old wounds, old versions of ourselves. We are asking Archangel Michael to help protect our space. And imagine that he's got this wonderful paintbrush of energy, and he's starting at the crown, at the top, and he is painting with swirls of energy and cleansing each chakra as it goes down through your body. And imagine this swirling, beautiful paintbrush is just cleansing any gunk, any old energy, anything that needs to be let go and release. Archangel Raphael is taking it all. He's also helping us connect with Mother Earth as the energy continues down through our feet and connects us with her beauty. Archangel Raphael takes the light from Mother Earth and sends it all the way through our chakras one by one until it goes out the crown. Our light bodies are cleared and cleansed renewed, fresh, excited. And as we connect with the energy of Source in heaven, that beautiful light comes around each of us and protects our space, keeping us safe and grounded. Call upon Archangel Raphael this week as you are intentional about letting go of this old energy, bringing in the new, and helping to heal anything from the past that needs to be cleared in order to start this new beginning in this new cycle. One deep breath in, let it out. All right, Dawn, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I'm already on. So cool. Yes, talking about the astrology, let's start with this new moon in Pisces. For me, it's very important for everyone to take the time to set intentions. And I will say this as well. You cannot ask for enough. It's about unlimited manifestation, unlimited dreams. Neptune is there. Neptune will never be in Pisces again during a new moon in Pisces. It will exit out and then come back in the fall to stay at 29 degrees, but it will be gone again by the time there's another new moon in Pisces. That is important. That is a co-ruler of that sign. So that's one of the energies that you need to realize, that that's the higher connection. That is, Neptune is dreams. There are no limits with Neptune. So you cannot ask for too much. There's no such thing. And even always when you're asking for a new intention, it's this or something better, or let this or what the universe wants to bring me, and be in that receiving mode, because the universe can make it so much more than you could even imagine. And you need to include that in your energy. All planets will be direct on this new moon. All planets. So that is a very important energy. We have the North Node in Pisces as well. And we have Mercury there and Saturn there. You can make your dreams come true. You don't have to do everything. You set your intention, you start moving towards your goals, and then the universe, you take one step, the universe takes 20. That's how it works. Once the universe knows you're serious, it's like, oh, well, I have something better for them. You can take a step toward your goal and you're like, the universe is like, I have something better for them. So we're just going to change that around a little bit and make it even better. That's what I want to get you to understand about this new moon in Pisces. There are no limits for you for what you're asking for. The other thing happening this week, the very next day, Venus goes retrograde at 10 degrees of Aries. I would say, because I've been looking at people's charts and things, and what I will say is look to where your Venus is in your chart. Venus is trying to get a message to everyone. See what it's going on in the collective, this Venus energy. Venus, where she's going to be having her beginning of her retrograde. Remember, we always say whenever a planet turns around, either to go forward or backward, that point gets extra energy and is activated. That is 10 degrees. And Mercury's point of retrograde is 9 degrees of Aries. The eclipse that's in Aries on March 29th is at 9 degrees. So both of those points, both of those things are going to get energized in the charts for everyone. That's going to be a collective thing. And Mercury and Venus are personal planets. And I feel that you just can't make this up. The very next day after the Aries eclipse, Neptune moves into Aries, 0 degrees. And let me verify that, because I want to make sure I tell you right. But I'm pretty sure. I usually get that pretty well down. But it's just so incredible, the energy that we're getting through everything. Okay, here we go. Enters. Neptune, March 30th, enters Aries the very next day. Now, that is considered basically a world event. That is a collective thing that's happening. But you have to think of that's still within, when you're talking about orbs and you're talking about eclipses, and the fact that it's an Aries eclipse, that is just huge energy. And when Venus is doing all of her retrograding, she's going over the North Node and Saturn and Neptune, and she's trining Mars 3 times. And Mercury, she's going to be hitting back and forth with Mercury. And of course the sun. So I think we're going to be getting, I was saying before we started that I believe that we are all going to be getting higher gifts. And sometimes we don't know what we're going to be doing next. And I'm beginning to believe that's because we don't know what gifts that we're going to be getting. And those will reveal themselves over time. But this is part of what the activation is. And I believe the activation started back on the new moon in Aquarius. So all of that energy is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like it's a pulsing energy that just keeps getting more added to it, right? So I really believe that that's something that we should be paying attention to. And there's so much going on with that. I'll try and keep everybody up to date and up to speed as we have our twice weekly things. But concentrate on this new moon in Pisces. Spiritual things can open up for you, and you can't even imagine what they are. Just say, I'm ready, I'm open, I'm ready to receive. I'm ready to receive my spiritual gifts. You're leveling up, but you have to be receiving of it. You can't go, I'm going to pick this and this and this. And I think that's why the divine feminine, it's easier for them to get the downloads of the gifts because they're receiving. They're not going out and getting it. They're receiving it. And that's what the energy of the high priestess energy, Venus energy, receiving that energy in. It's going to, Mercury being retrograde at the same degrees as Venus is going to change the way we think and our decision making, and new information is going to be coming through. All of those things. So it's very relevant to what's going on in the collective, but we're all getting also personal messages. The collective energy, it shows that there's a reset that needs to happen. It's going to happen. But when I look at people's personal charts, it's actually looking really good for people on a personal level, because I think eventually it's going to turn into more freedom, more things of being able to do what you want to do. So that's a lot. I'm just trying to cover in a general sense what's going on there. But do you have any questions about any of that?
I would just say that collectively, they're having one experience because collectively most of those people are in the 3D still, or 4D. But those of us that are, on the spiritual path, we're not going to experience it in the same way. We are literally leveling up with this energy. So, I mean, it's not meant to be fearful for anybody that's listening to us, because you're on the path. And so, this is your time to use it. And so, I love that we're doing the new moon intention setting ceremonies, that we're actually using the energies that we're talking about. Angie, I think you had something you wanted to add.
As she's talking, I'm kind of going, oh, I had a dream that our collective, we were standing in line, and it was kind of like, but everybody was all like glammed up and kind of getting ready. And I was holding so many different things that I couldn't hold everything at the same time. And Spirit was like, well, you have a bag, put it in your bag. You need to condense or put your energy all into one thing. There's no reason, you don't have enough hands to hold all that you're holding. So put it into the bag. And it was red, and I had red lipstick on, and you guys were there, and a whole bunch of other people. And it was kind of like, just wait for it. You're in line. It's like, it's not time yet, but you're getting ready to get ready, kind of thing. Like, I'm ready to go on stage. It's ready to go. And it was kind of like a little spiritual pat on the head of like, just hang on, like, it's here. but you've got your hands too full. Let's make sure that we're using our tools properly. Put the stuff in your purse. That's just that way it can just still be one hand. But it's like it's all we're there, but the timing isn't exactly the timing yet, but it's close.
We're in an
So I was like,
integration period.
Yeah, and I did get a message in a card reading where it was, where did I have that out? It was, we're going from the King of Pentacles, this energy. We're supposed to be getting rid of all that stuff, because what came out is this. So we're changing. I mean, I don't mean we're all going to be living in tents, but look at the difference. Like, this person's alone in a room. He's the King of Pentacles, but hello, it's someone who has a lot of knowledge, but he's by himself. What good is that? And then you have this celebration,
that
joy.
was the feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody being in line together, all that red, but then it has to go from that red into that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is jubilation and happiness, and it's not the things that are important.
Yeah.
They're happy. It's a tent. But
we're redefining values.
Redefining values. Perfect. Redefining values. So yeah, I see. Good. Natal. Your natal Mars. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, we did have several people bringing up about their Venus. So we had Jonna said 29 degrees Scorpio for her Venus.
Wow. Jonna, 29 degrees Scorpio, being that it's a water sign and that you will have that in a trine to Neptune, and you've just had it in a trine to the North Node. Your Venus is powerful, 29 degrees, and adds to an 11. But I think that haziness of the Pisces energy, you're starting to get that cleared away now. And I feel like you should be the kind of Venus is like, well, Scorpio and Venus is like, do not mess with me. Do not mess with me today, right? That's 29 degrees of Scorpio anyway. And then you have Venus there, and it's just like, nope, not going to have it. Good boundaries. Set good boundaries. Keep them. Yeah, I see that.
Had a few that had Capricorn for their Venus.
Venus and Capricorn, she's very practical, right? It would be important to know the house, and if anything's talking to Venus. But Venus and Capricorn is about looking. Anything that's in Capricorn is there to work. That's how I always see that. It's opposite Cancer. So in Cancer, she kind of like gets spoiled, but in Capricorn, it's more like she's looking at things on a more practical level, I would say. And I think that is also your love language, is that you're very, you can be very practical in your love language. But I'd be interested into finding out how that's talking, what is talking to it. And the degrees are important, because with this energy of this Venus retrograde, you're getting some really cool, interesting messages in there. Because the Aries, if you have anything between 0 and 10 degrees of Capricorn, if that's where your Venus is going to be in a sextile. So the Venuses, those two Venuses at that point are going to be in sextile with each other and talking. Yep. I need the t-shirt. Yes. So I am doing a Venus class starting Monday the 3rd, and it's for 5 weeks. Nat and I are putting it together, and it's $25. We don't, we're not. We were told basically to do this class. I'm not kidding. Our charts said it. So and as of like a week ago, I hadn't, like barely a week ago, I hadn't planned on doing it. I didn't have a plan to do a class, and then all of a sudden, it's like, okay. So I would say, look at the 11 degrees in Aquarius. Yes, there's a lot of really interesting Venus energy. Your Venus is trying to give you a message. So take a look at that energy in your chart. So I don't want to hold us up too long. So I'll go
Yeah,
ahead.
I think we're ready, to move forward with the readings.
So, and this is interesting because I have, I pulled it with the collective, and my card, this is a card of the goddess. The number of the goddess, 13, is the number of the goddess, feeling the world. Empathy reminds you that you are not alone. It is a beautiful capacity to feel the connectivity all around you, giving a profound sense of belonging, a broader experience of being part of the larger whole. That said, it can also be overwhelming, especially when you don't know where you end and the rest of the world begins. Now is the time to be clear about your boundaries. Ask yourself whose energy you've tuned into. You might find it's not even yours. So, a lot of this is talking about do not mistake codependency for closeness or allow your boundaries to become too porous. Trust your instincts and take care of you. Practice saying no. Feeling the world. And a lot of people here are empaths, but it's hard to turn that off. And it's like, okay, you give people chances and chances and chances over and over again. And you need to set boundaries with these people because they're never going to get it. They're not getting it. And they won't like that you set boundaries because it inconveniences them. They actually have to do their own work. And I mean that in a spiritual sense. So this is very telling for me, the feeling the world. But the message of this card is also setting boundaries, taking care of yourself. This is a 13, the goddess card. You are the most important person. Women don't believe that, but you are the most important person. And you need to take care of yourself first. So with that, we will go on to, is that you, Jen, next?
Okay, so the card that I have pulled for what spiritual values are being revealed right now, I used the Soul Coaching Oracle and I pulled the Wisdom card. And so this pulls me back to the integration that I just said. And so all of the wisdom that we've been gaining through all these lessons and all the work, now it's time to integrate them. So the cup of wisdom is being presented to you. Listen to the coincidences, signs, and synchronicities around you. Watch for messages from your angels and guides. Enlightenment is growing within you in mysterious ways beyond your awareness. Sit on the earth and allow her wisdom to fill you. Your soul wants you to know your wisdom has not only come from your joyous, carefree times, it's also bloomed from your failures, deflated dreams, and seemingly wrong turns in life. Cherish every experience, for all of it has deepened your wisdom, compassion, and understanding. Also know that there's an innate wisdom within you, always. It's simply a matter of being still and turning within in order to access it. Sometimes you may be so focused on the future or what's outside of you that you forget that the wisdom is available to you now. Affirmation, all I truly need is within me. And so, like, that's also connecting me back to the gifts that are coming out too with this, and just but it's more the wisdom, integrating the wisdom. Now it's not so much about the lessons as now what are we going to do with the lessons so that they weren't wasted. All right, so now I'm going to move with Sari.
All right. So the card I pulled is from, this is the Shaman's Dream. And the card today, it's interesting. This is called the Feast of Plenty. It's a number 20 card. And this looks like a combination in the traditional tarot of the Two of Swords and the Judgment card. So I actually pulled these up. This is the Rider-Waite deck. So it's kind of a combo of these two. Oftentimes this is around, do I follow my head or do I follow my heart? And of course, the Judgment card is significant because it is a major arcana, but it's also around, I've kind of crossed the river Rubicon and I can't go back. I've had an epiphany. So you may have a feast of choices right now in terms of the path or paths that you have an opportunity to choose. It says, what will satisfy your hunger? Something new or unconventional, or something that you already know? You may be faced with a plethora of options right now. And while that may seem to be an extraordinary thing, too many choices can throw you off balance. You might be worried that once you commit, you won't be able to turn back or refuse to confront the consequences of that decision. And again, this is going with what Dawn and Jen have already talked about, is around wisdom and inviting in. Maybe the choice is, I'm inviting in the spiritual gifts that are meant for me, and how would they come to you? They're delivered in the way that Spirit wants to deliver them. So it's recommending to all of us to use our discernment and wisdom, but don't be afraid to make a choice and to roll with it. It says the feast is yours to enjoy. You can always go back for more when you're hungry again. For life's blessings are ever available to you in calling your name. So if you're at a crossroads, what Spirit is guiding you to do is listen to your heart and listen to the wisdom of your soul, and to take a leap of faith. There's no right or wrong, but making a decision is really, really important in this time. And it could be as simple as being open to what the universe wants to bring you or show you in your spiritual gifts. So with that, I'll turn it over to Angie.
Thanks, Sari. That card just is too legit to quit. It will not. That's the second time you've pulled it. I've pulled it multiple times as well. It just will not stop. And funny, not funny. The energy here about the heart chakra, all this green energy, this is called the victim, and it is from the Wisdom Oracle book. It's all about chakras. And these are little tails so that we can relate to them metaphorically. And it's, I am not a victim. I choose, choices and their consequence. I choose to do what I am doing. The legend is that the green acorn is asked to star in a fable by Kelly the Green Dragon. He was promised top billing, but in the end, he says his best work never made the final edit. Now he doesn't even have a speaking part. He feels betrayed by Dragon, but Green Acorn is not resentful. Being in the fable landed him on display at a museum. He insists he is content, but we can see denial and the underlying anger. The inspiration of this energy is that the green acorn indicates that being in denial may be holding us back. To move forward, we must make an honest assessment of our situation. The personal inquiry, so for our journalers, is how are my actions connected to my inability to create breakthroughs? Am I willing to make new choices in order to grow? The key ideas here are feeling blocked, blaming others, past resentments, deluding ourselves, and also the potential for greatness. The key words here are breakthroughs, empowerment, and growth. The meditation is seeing ourselves sitting in a cinema. As the movie begins, we watch a scene from our life about a dream that never came true. Maybe we'd wanted a promotion, a new house, a relationship, something we were promised that did not come to pass. Let's allow ourselves to feel the disappointment again. Now rewrite the scene. How does your fable end? So I feel like that's very poignant. And with the integration aspect of the sun being in Pisces, this week's lesson from the Sabian symbols is literally integration. So the degree that we're at today is called the cross laying on the rocks. So crossroads indeed. The complete integration that we seek spiritually is also mirrored in worldly matters. We learn to tolerate others even as they become intolerable. So I don't feel like any of this is an accident. All of this energy that Dawn is explaining, culminating, it's like that whirlwind, that peak, that storm. I'm just seeing all these leaves just whirling around in our hearts and in our mind. And it definitely feels like a choice point. But as far as it's you got to choose. You have to make that decision so that spirit and the universe can know what to kind of pull out of our way. Or yes, we've learned the lesson. I feel that to my bones. But then there's this like little component of fear that is like kind of holding us back from stepping into that next step. What is that fear? Maybe if we can identify, it just feels like it's the unknown, the fear of the unknown, right? And not trusting that what we've asked for, what we've manifested can be ours. We just need to maybe, instead of doing the most, compartmentalize and put some things away that we're still carrying. And yes, they're there, they are part of us, but do we need to, have 5 hands carrying them all at once? We've only got 2 hands. And what things can we really lay to rest and be put away? How can we rewrite the ending of our story and still feel like we are coming out the winner that we know we feel we can be? Big stuff, guys. Big stuff. Wow. Thank you. We are heading back over to Dawn at the top for personals, I believe.
Hi, I'm reading for On Time for Tarot, and this is the card that basically came out for you. It was very interesting, body and soul. This is about taking care of yourself and seeing yourself as a complete package, right? You are not just your spirit, you're also your physical body. So check in with yourself. Are you experiencing halt? That is hunger, anger, loneliness, or tiredness. Then this card is a signal that it's time to take a break from your current focus and get busy taking care of you, because you are worthy of this care. What simple things require your attention so you can function optimally in your world? Just know that life loves you. With that in mind, your job is to do your part to make your experience a healthy one. I really think that I really get the sense that you have been overwhelmed, that it feels like you've been very busy. It feels like that there's a lot going on. 5 is a card of change, so there must be a lot of change going on in your life. I think that is very true for the collective, and it's going to be even more true as we move forward through these strong energies. But you are definitely getting a message of you're not taking good enough care of yourself, body and soul. So make sure you're getting enough rest, getting enough water, getting enough downtime, getting enough away from electronics, getting out in nature. All of those things are very important for you right now. So I want to leave you with that message that you are loved and you need to take care of yourself because you are very important. I hope this message makes you realize how special you are. So with that, we'll go on to Jen.
Okay. I have pulled for Monique Costa, and I pulled with the Soul Coaching Oracle, and I got the Grace card. And so just instantly, I'm connected even with what Dawn just said, is I felt just this swirling of emotions. And it's like the grace that is needed is for yourself in this case. I feel like that you're giving yourself a hard time, that you're doing the best that you can, but it's still not quite what you want it to be. And so the grace here is needed for yourself. Grace. Be gracious and understanding with yourself. Angels, guides, and spiritual guardians are watching over you and cherishing you. Kindly honor the reality of others. Your soul wants you to know there's a spiritual nobility that accompanies true grace. Even if you absolutely know that your opinion is right, sometimes it's wise not to push your point. Let it drop. It's not that important. The Creator knows the truth of the situation, even if others don't. There are times to be starkly honest, but this isn't one of them. Hear the truth of others without the overlay of your own opinions. Speak with love, kindness, and diplomacy. Be kind to yourself and cherish your path. Affirmation, I graciously accept the infinite love of the universe. And so, even though it was talking about the way that you interact with others, I still feel this is connected directly to you. Just not feeling like you're doing good enough with, just what you're doing right now. But I think that the grace is you did the best you could with what you knew. You're still learning every day. And so, this is the integration that, I was talking about earlier. Every time you go through the lessons, just make sure you're integrating it and using them so that it wasn't wasted. All right, so now then on to Sri.
All right, I'm going to read for Shirley. Shirley, I think it's your first time joining the chat, so welcome. And she is actually in London at the moment. So I'm going to pull a card from the Cosmic Oracle, Shirley, because I know you love this one. And the card that I pulled is called Patience. This is 25, which reduces to 7, and 7s are very sacred. And if you look at this woman, she looks like a shaman. It's a beautiful card. And so, Shirley, welcome to the channel. Thank you for being here. And your message is patience is surrendering to the now and allowing destiny to unfold at its own pace. If this card has come to you, Spirit's message is to slow down and enjoy the present moment. Although you may have passion and drive to reach for the moon, you're being asked to take things slower and feel the magic of every step. Every step holds lessons that bring you closer to the divine within you. If you were too hasty and you want to reach your goals yesterday, you might miss some life-changing moments that are meant to enhance, enrich, and transform your soul. We've talked about how important it is during this time to be an observer and to welcome in the small details and things that otherwise we might miss. So Shirley, I think the message from Spirit today is every step that you're taking as an observer to allow the universe in the present moment to bring to you what it wants to bring, you're going to have such an enriched experience by just exercising patience. And again, you know me, and I'm not a patient person, so note to self. But for many of us, we want to see things manifest in our material world, but perhaps we haven't exactly seen it yet. So keep going, observe, be patient, and enjoy the present moment, Shirley. And again, so grateful that you've joined us from London today. And I'm going to pass it on to Angie, who is going to roll some dice.
Actually, because I only had one person, Miss Kathy, thank you, put a number in. I'll wait for the next round of that. So I pulled for Larissa since she was really resonating with that card. And moving out of stagnation, we have Dust Devil here. That's a 15 energy, which is the energy of the devil. So fears, right? Patterns, anything that holds us back or creates this, like it's like Charlie Brown coming in and mucking up the energy, right? When I always felt sorry for Pigpen, like he can't help it, but it's whatever that dust devil is that kind of comes in our life and is really makes it unable to see totally clearly, right? Kind of like the moon energy of being underwater. So, this is about embracing the chaos, trusting in the process, and moving out of stagnation. The presence of the dust devil causes a ruckus. Some people are afraid of his chaotic nature, believing that he comes to intentionally stir things up. The truth is, you can't expect this dream ally to quote unquote behave, to bring niceness to be clean. His power is in the mess he creates as he calls for you to engage in the full cyclone of life. He represents two aspects to you now. The winds in your outer life appearing to throw you off course, where you assume the world is coming at or happening to you, and the winds that churn inside you, with the dust devil arising from your dreamscape to help you escape your invisible chains shackling you to a barren desert. Stop asking for things to be perfect. awkward, messy, conflicted, exuberant, and wild is how we shift. Trust this process. The dust devil knows what you need and when you need it. Once things settle, you will see the gleaming jewels awaiting your discovery, the wisdom awaiting, wait for it, integration. Wow. I hope that helps, Larissa. And back over to Dawn.
Hi. So I am going to be reading Judy, and I want to point something out because I completely blocked it out, and I think it was intentional. If you have anything in Virgo, it's opposite Pisces. With all of this energy going through, that's going to be an opposition energy in your chart. I totally spaced out that I have Pluto at 8 degrees of Virgo and Venus at 6 degrees of Virgo. So this new moon that's affecting you, Judy, at 13 degrees of Virgo is going to be opening up something new for you. What I think that would be then in your third house, would be your third house. So in your local community. And what I found very interesting about the card that got pulled for you, it's a number 34 card, which is a 7, very spiritual number. Look at that. I'm trying to get it to focus because it is a gorgeous card. There it is. This is from, I had it here a second ago. Anyway, this is what this message is: receiving help, delegating authority, and interdependence. You've come to a point where it no longer, when going it alone is no longer optimal for you. Life has a way of presenting you with the perfect people to align with who can give you a leg up during this next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all the areas of your life where you need a boost. The trick is to accept that aid so freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and interdependence to commingle, miracles happen. Now is such a time. And I think the universe is telling that for all of us out there, that this is the time to really allow help. That's the universe saying, oh, they need it. They need a little hand here and there. Accept the help from others. You don't need to go it alone. They are doing their own part in their journey by offering that help, and you should receive it in. So with that, I will go on to Jen.
I have pulled for Brandy. And so the card that I pulled for Brandy is very similar to the card I pulled for Monique. So there's like this theme that's coming. We have compassion. But I think that the compassion that you're needing for yourself here is because you're focused on things that are outside of yourself. And so you're letting all the outside influences kind of affect you internally. And so we're going to need to put our focus back on ourselves. All right. So compassion. You're a deeply compassionate being. Allow the light of your goodwill to shine to the world. Accept the care that the Creator has for you. You're loved and immensely lovable. Your soul wants you to know true compassion starts with yourself. Gently, lovingly, and unconditionally accept yourself just as you are. It isn't necessary to be perfect, and there's no one that you need to please but your higher self. The more that you can release judgments and negative beliefs about yourself, the more true compassion you'll have for others. Be gentle with yourself and cherish who you really are. It's time to release guilt and shame because they no longer serve you. Forgive yourself and others. Anytime you notice a negative thought about yourself crop up, immediately replace it with a positive one. Affirmation: the vibration of compassion shines through every cell of my body. And what I'm getting is like, this is you getting yourself into the alignment with the things that you're wanting. So right now you're aligned with the stress because you're letting it, kind of affect you. But once you can feed back into yourself and put, the self-care, the self-worth, the self-compassion, you're going to align yourself to all of these things that are meant to be in your life. The stressful things, because you're feeling the stress of it, is telling you that you're out of alignment. So those are the things that, like, that's what it's trying to tell you. The stress is trying to tell you you're out of alignment. You've got to pour back into yourself in order to get where you're trying to get to. All right. Suri.
Okay. And I'm pulling for Donna this morning. And Donna, I remember in the chat last Friday, you were saying that you were being a hermit for the last 3 months. That stayed with me because I think many of us have felt that. The card I pulled today is from the Gaia deck, and I think you'll be really pleased. It's called Harmony. It is a number 3 card, which is indicative of forward movement. It's power, self-confidence, and productivity. So this card heralds a period of inner and outer harmony for you. In the coming months, you will feel an increased sense of self-confidence, which will result in greater productivity. It is if you have learned to harness the primal forces of nature and you're able to channel this energy in a powerful and meaningful way to achieve your goals. Your guiding stars are in harmonious alignment at present. This is a fortunate time for you, and this period will continue for several months. Be mindful of the power that you have at present. Honor it, respect it, and use it wisely. What you learn in this time will help you greatly in the future. Observe your state of mind during this time, as well as your actions and how others react to you. Notice how many doors open and how many previously inaccessible paths now become clear of obstacles. All you desire comes to you with little effort, because there is harmony between your inner and outer worlds. And Donna just actually started transcendental meditation. And I think maybe that is the pathway, Donna, for you in terms of just really seeing things flourish and your ability to come out of hermit mode and to really come into your spiritual gifts. And to have harmony both inside and outside of yourself, and have that alignment to move forward with a lot of productivity and a lot of results. So it was a pleasure to read for you, Donna, and I'll pass it on to Angie.
Thanks, Sari. So Kaylee was asking about what the Virgo opposition was. So I was focusing on that while I was shuffling here. Remember that Virgo is opposite of Pisces. It acts as like that teeter-totter, right? So it's the sister sign. It's the one directly across the hall that you might not get along with when you very first meet your neighbor that's across the hall, or your dorm mate, or whatever it is. But then you end up going, we can really learn from each other here. They balance each other out. So oppositions can be difficult, but they are also about learning and what does the other have to teach, right? They're sister energies for a reason. They're on an axis. So like looking at our ascendant and descendant, that's an axis. Our MC and our IC, that is another major axis. Those axes are really important in your chart because that's how that energy is going to help balance out that Pisces energy. And remember, that's where the north and south nodes are. So that's the lesson that we're having to learn, and major healing. And here, Kaylee, we've got drifter, and look at all that water energy there. So there's a ship right there in the center. We might feel like we're being swallowed by our emotions at this time. It's a 14 energy of temperance, which is finding the puzzle pieces to our peace. And then the 5 of change as well. And the drifter, it's asking us to just take one day at a time. But what I really love about this, and I haven't noticed that ever about this card, I just saw it, this world energy. So this Empress energy trying to come in and show itself, that energy of 3 of the Empress. The world is right there above your ship. And it's like, all you have to do is just look up, and it's right there. Just shift where you're looking for this answer, because the answer is there. You're just getting ready to go on. Again, it's that these waterfalls here, or this energy looks like a stage, looks like curtains, and it's just we're right there. We're ready to go on. It's not time yet, but this is going to be revealed to us, and we just need to stay in the present moment, like Suri said, observe. The observation component is very, very important here. And it's like this, the seas are parting and we are going to get the way through. But right now it's really just one day at a time, life as it comes. And Suri, as you were talking about yours, with that 3 energy, and what we learn in this lifetime. On the bottom of Larissa's card, we got surrender or sky dancers, which is a 48, breaking down to the hangman, the opposition, seeing something from a whole new view, and then the 3 of the empress energy, the world energy, the earth. Just hang tight. These messages are profoundly, to me, are for everyone. If you're here, you need every single one of these messages, just like we do, guys. So thank you so much for being with us and bringing your energy today. Dawn, look like you got a cookie from the cookie jar.
I do. I'm reading for Michelle K. Hi, Michelle. I was just so happy when this card came out. Come to the edge. Anything that has dancing in it, I'm for. This is number 36 card. Come to the edge. Courage, taking a leap of faith, overcoming fear and accepting risk. Facing the unknown is the only choice you really have right now if you want to progress. It's okay to be afraid. Now is the time to take a risk that is not calculated, to feel the enthusiasm. You ready yourself for a leap of faith. Spirit is present, so let go of fear. I think this goes back to a theme we had when we first started reading, was everything that you want is on the other side of fear. Really be willing to take that leap. Come to the edge. Dance. Have fun. Be afraid and do it anyway. That is what we're all being called to do. So I think this is a very special message, and it's about, you can do it. Whatever it is that's come up for you, you can do this. Just trust your heart and everything will be fine. So on to Jen.
Okay. I have pulled for Jonna. Let's see if I can find you. Okay, so again, we've got some themes, and what I love about this is this tells me that you are closer to everything that you want than you really even know. So your next step of integration is acceptance. And so acceptance is a sacred act of power. Accept your light. Embrace all parts of yourself. Allow yourself to receive the gifts of the universe. You're worthy of these blessings and so much more. Your soul wants you to know, at times it may be difficult to fully accept yourself exactly as you are. Yet when you don't, you deny the divine part of you, your soul. In truth, every experience that you've had, even the ones that you thought weren't good, allowed you to advance on your spiritual path. There were no wrong experiences. Everything that has occurred in your life has been part of a divine plan for your spiritual development as a soul. If only you could see yourself as those in the spirit realm do, you'd know how remarkable and wondrous you are. As you increase your acceptance, you'll help others love and unconditionally be at peace with themselves too. And the more that you accept yourself, the more fulfillment you will experience. Affirmation: I unconditionally accept, cherish, and love myself just as I am. And so when you get to this full understanding of who you are on that soul level, you will not settle for anything less than what you know you deserve. I mean, you will know like that you have your faults, you know where those things are, but you know your own worth so strongly at that point that you won't settle for things that aren't actually aligned with you anymore. And so I think that's your last piece right there, is just accepting yourself, accepting your own worth, and then that's going to move you into that next level that you're wanting to be. All right, so Sari, are you?
All right. Yes. And I'm going to read for Ed. So I've gotten 2 people out of London today. And Ed, I hope you're still with us. And I pulled from the Shaman's Dream. And the card that I pulled, Ed, for you today, it's called Stranger. And this is about curiosity. And the information on this is the other, moving past fear of indifference, of differences, curiosity, and acceptance. The stranger moves through the world in a shroud of darkness. Um, and you can see this gentleman swirling with light around him, looking at a pool of water. And it can't elicit fear or uncertainty, as the danger of the unknown defines its very presence. Yes, there is a veil of separation between you and the stranger. Look closer and summon the courage to remain open to what you might find. You may be conditioned to only look for what mirrors what is safe and known to you, and you're not able to entertain the concept of other beyond something to fear. In order to broaden your world and your experience of it, you must refute the illusion that sameness is the only way. Nothing you expect externally matches up with the other, and you're challenged in your own experience. But don't miss this opportunity for learning. Something extraordinary is being offered to you right now if you remain curious and teachable. Allow the newness to envelop you as you explore all possibilities. And there's something around by being curious and not fearing what's coming to you. There's something about beyond the veil. Like you're going to be opening up to see a whole lot more beyond the veil. And you're going to be getting some downloads of some gifts that are really wanting to come in. And all it takes is just to be curious. And even though it might be uncomfortable, let that curiosity help you observe and to welcome what spirit wants to bring to you. But I think there's something across the veil that you're communicating with or seeing that may be revealing a really unique gift that's coming to you. So it was a great pleasure, and I will close it out by sending it to Angie.
I just heard he's in line too. So if you didn't hear that at the beginning of my weird dream, you're in line there with us. So grab your red purse. Okay, this message is for Kathy. You had a 9, and here's your 9 right back, dear. It's an 18 card. 1 plus 8 obviously equals 9. Rising above the fray. Jen pulled an eagle. Last night, I literally yelled out loud, "There's the eagle!" on some show I was watching. So that's why you saw my mouth drop when she pulled that eagle card. And then we have here again this eagle energy. And this card reminds me of the Page of Wands as well, about being curious and about really following down your Fruit Loops. There's a toucan on the card of that Page of Wands, and it's like, just keep going. We're just observing what we like. We might have forgotten what we really enjoy. Maybe it's just been a hot minute. And this is asking us to also, that Queen of Swords energy too, taking that telescope out, look beyond where you think you need to look at the bigger picture of something. When we're in the dust storm, right? When we can't see, when we're under the water, when things aren't clear, we can see little bits, but we can't see the whole picture. So this is asking you to pull up in this, Kathy, and ask yourself, is this dust storm now going to matter in 5 years? And if I could jump into the future and look back on this time now, what would be the advice to myself? So try to remember that things are temporary. Not everything, always feels like it's a hot mess express. We've got to come up above that dust storm, though, to be able to see and understand what we do know is clear, what things are stable and stabilizing, and focus on those components, especially when we're feeling kind of churned up inside. I feel like this week's going to be a whole lot of churning. I feel like all of these cards are showing all of us that, it's coming, but we need to keep in mind that it's for our best and highest good, and think of what the outside energy is what that's going to look like when we get out of that storm component. Thanks, guys. Back over to Dawn. I hope that helps, Kathy.
Actually, I'm going to
was
close
really
this out.
hoping
Yeah.
so
And
much.
so we posted below in the chat the Thursday night link for the new moon ritual. That's going to be on the 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe it's in the chat, right, Jim? I saw it. Yeah. Dawn? Got
That was for the Venus class, but I'm going to pull up that for the new moon ritual in just a second, so they'll have it in just a moment.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
as she's pulling that up, again, some wonderful messages. We've got a lot of energy that is strong this week. And again, some great tips and some beautiful messages today that we have all received. And so these are timeless. And again, have a great and wonderful week. Dawn is almost there.
Yep. Hang on.
Putting in
And
the chat. We'll be back together on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It was just posted. We will have that on Thursday evening, 8 p.m. EST. Again, have a blessed week. Thank you again from all around the world and from all of us to you, sending lots of love, healing energy. Archangel Raphael is with us all this week. And again, have a wonderful, beautiful week, and we'll see you again Friday. Thanks, everyone.